go. Out for the. I'm walking the bull, go. Out for the. I'm walking the bull, go. Out for the.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome on in to the Dad Meets World podcast. I am one of your hosts, Mike. I am joined by one of my other co-hosts, also Mike. Mikey, how are you?
Salutations. I'm doing well, man.
We are also joined by our third, the man behind the dials and knobs and whatever else he has over here, newly jobless, unemployed, and soon to be homeless, Nicholas Siegel. How are you, sir?
Yeah, doing good. Yeah, all that by choice.
Congrats.
Not on accident.
Doesn't
So,
change the title.
Yep.
No, I'm just
Still
kidding.
sticks. Still
Nick
sticks.
is going to
Only-
take an adventure across the United States or wherever the wind takes you in a van.
Yep.
Camp by some rivers. You're going to live in that van. You're going to have a good time. We're excited for you. When do you leave?
The end of the month. I just tested my air conditioner and it works great.
That's
So excited.
important.
I know.
What do you mean you tested your air
I've
conditioner?
never used it, and the whole time I've had it. And then my brother's like, "You want to just try and turn it on?" We turned it on, and it was great.
You mean like the vehicle's air conditioning, like a normal vehicle air conditioning?
No, for the RV part of the thing,
Mm.
like off the back. Of
You
the
need two?
Well, like you don't run the engine when you're sleeping.
That's true.
That's a good point. Okay. So what I real quick question, because I don't know what air conditioning for a van, a sleeper van or whatever. What's that like? Is it a swamp cooler or is it something else?
I don't know. It's just an air conditioning, like a fan that cools the air that comes in the car.
Is it electric?
Yeah, where is it getting its power
gas?
from?
Is it powered
electric.
by a
It's electric. But
It's electric.
what do you plug it into the van?
So if I'm plugged in at a campsite, I can use it.
okay.
But
So
if
it
you're
literally
not at a
is like an
campsite, can you
RV.
still use it? Do you have a generator?
I'm gonna have an inverter and solar panels and that kind of stuff.
Cool.
And it's only a 100-watt AC unit. It's pretty awesome.
That's cool.
And how quickly would you say? Well, it's tough right now because it's winter. But if you had to guess, how quickly do you think it would cool down the van to the right temp?
Pretty quickly.
Yeah, like let's say you're off adventuring away from the car, you come back and it's still midday. Really? I guess it's a small area, so
I mean, like,
I shouldn't
if
assume.
I'm camping and it's 15 degrees outside,
Mhm.
I can put the thermostat to 70, give it 6 minutes.
You got a thermostat in your van?
Well, you have to.
Yeah, and I just pictured one like on a wall, but in your van,
Yeah,
like a
he's
click
got-
knob.
He has to put it behind a lock like in an office because everyone gets out of control and
Every
they
time he
all want to
touches all
change
the
it.
dads in the area. are
Yeah. They're like, we didn't agree on that temperature.
Oh, that's hilarious.
72's too dang high.
That's perfect. What
I
do you
love
keep your
it.
house at?
You guys are dads to me, even though you're not my dads.
70. Thank you. 70.
Really? I think we're 71 or 72.
And
I
I
think
mean,
we're
that's
72 during the day and
Yeah.
70 at night.
I think
Pretty
so.
much year round.
Technically, we set it at 70. I don't know what the temperature is in like each part of the house because our house varies. The first floor definitely way cooler than
Ours does
upstairs,
too.
like most houses. But you're a ranch style house, so we're on the top floor right now.
Mm-hmm.
So do you feel like the basement's
Significantly
Yeah,
colder.
that's every basement. Yeah,
it's
I
nice
don't know.
in the summer. It's really cold in the winter, though.
Yeah, that's where.
Sure, the kids sleep well down there.
Papa, can I come upstairs? It's too cold.
Nope, no. You got 3 blankets. You're good. And
No,
the
no,
little
no.
one's in a sleep sack. She's fine. She's in thermal blankets with a sleep sack. She's cozy. And every time you look at her, she's just...
You got her in a 0-degree bag down
Oh,
there.
yeah. She's in
We're good.
essentially a mummy bag. She's happy. She could never be happier. Speaking of adventures, this is the Dad Meets World podcast. Every week we discuss being dads and everything that goes along with that. We also talk about the things that we enjoy outside of being dads, whether that be movies, TV, video games, sports, or whatever else tickles our fancy. If you like what we do, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever else you get your substance and entertainment. Give us a like, give us a follow, whatever you'd like. Tell a friend. Anything helps. Enough of the business, Mikey. Let's hop right into it with a little dad stuff. And this week, let's start off with maybe a topic we'd like to call feelings that make us feel things. This
Okay.
week, Grayson called me a bad dad. He said, "You're a bad daddy." And it made me feel some things inside because that's the first time he said it. And I know it's not going to be the last
Oh,
time.
I'm sorry.
But here's the situation. We're going on a walk. We live in Colorado. It's February when this happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's cold. It's 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It's
Yep.
chilly.
Sun's going down.
He's not going to be walking. He's not doing any exercising. And he's also not wearing any hot clothes. He's in his PJs. He's got socks on and little Crocs on. He needs to put a jacket on. He's going to freeze his little hands off if he doesn't, right? So I told him, dude, we do this every time. If you want to get in the stroller and you want to go on a walk, you got to put a coat on. And he took that personally. He did not like that. He threw a fit. I kind of went, Grayson, you know what we have to do? And I threw my hands up and I gave him one of those. And he said, you're a bad daddy. And I said, no, he said, Dad, you're a bad daddy. I said, all right, Grayson. Well, I still need you to put your coat on because I did not know how to handle that in the moment.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
So does it creep you out or just make you feel weird that your son would use the word daddy?
No, because
Okay.
when your little kid is talking to you, it
I know. That's a good point.
it
And
transcends
yeah.
the weirdness, I guess.
I
I understand what you're saying.
That word, unfortunately, my screwed up brain just like that. That's not a word that, like, if I heard Harrison use that word, I'd be like, do not call me daddy.
He's going to
That
because
is
he's going to say
not-
mommy and he's going to say daddy and he's going to say mom and dad and mama and dada. That's just how kids talk.
Yeah, I'll be
So
trying to
no.
nip that in the bud.
You'll grow up.
So did he put everything on and go for a walk, or how long did it take to get
he's-
him?
It took
on
a
board?
while. We had a face down into the floor tantrum.
Harrison's been doing that.
Pretty sure we
I have to not laugh.
we had to
but
put
it's
him in
so
his
good.
room to, like, when he cries like that, we tell him, we need you. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel those emotions, but we need you to go do those things in your own space. And you can take as long as you need to get through it and fight through it. But we're going to separate you and we're going to put you in your room. And when you're ready to talk, let us know. And so we did that. And I mean, eventually we went on the walk, but
Yeah.
you know,
So
Kristen looked at me and she was like, and poor Kristen, like, he totally threw her under the bus, and she didn't say anything to me. Like, she would never say, like, your dad's a bad dad, right?
no.
But, like, he was trying to say, like, mommy said, like, I can go do this or whatever. Mommy said. And when Kristen asked, like, where did you hear that? He was like, mommy said. So I was like, you told him I was a bad dad? And she's like, no. So awful situation all
Yeah.
around.
Okay.
Because he's not trying to say that. She would never, ever say that. But horrible situation, right? So I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know how to handle it. Kristen was very good in the moment and said, you cannot ever say that to your dad. That's not nice. That hurts people's feelings.
Okay.
And, like, that's not a nice thing to discuss. That's not a nice thing to say. And you can't say that other people told you to say that, like, or you can't say that other people said that. And he said, no, mommy said we could go on the walk. So he cleared that up.
Oh,
But
okay.
like, the whole point is, like, you can't do that. Like, you can't have this discussion. Like, you can't say this. Like, we don't want to have this discussion, but that hurts people's feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you handle that, Mikey? How do you feel?
About your situation?
No, just about that situation. Like, what are you going to do when your child says, Mikey,
You're a bad daddy?
Yeah.
I'm going to turn around, take a very deep breath, understand that my son is not trying to intentionally dig at my soul and hurt my feelings to the deepest part of my core. Probably cry for 15, 20 seconds. And then when, he's looking at me still and he's like, hey, what's wrong? And I'm like, nothing. I was just thinking about starting a new family.
Yeah.
No, I if he said you're a bad daddy, I would just be like, yep, all right, you still need to put your stuff on. Let's go.
Right.
I mean, that would just blow right over me. I'd be like, you're right. I'd be like, we could probably go down a very long list of things that you remember and you don't remember about
Get real
things that I
dark.
did wrong, which actually I do want to jump into my thing about my feelings for this week. So we're upstairs, we're all playing. Cassie's wrestling with Harrison. He's giggling like crazy. And she's like, oh, no, Daddy's going to get you. And I'm like, man, I'm going to get you. And I go down and I grab him. And I love throwing him around because it's just like he enjoys it. It's hilarious. And I want to get him just used to being like roughhoused or something. But, it's very light. It's just whatever. So I swing him around.
Calloused.
What's that?
Calloused.
Sure. But I don't know. That's a little different.
Prepped. Ready to rumble.
Ready to rumble. Yeah, I just don't want him to be like afraid of
Soft.
roughhousing with a sibling or friends or anything like that. So
Also to teach him boundaries at a
yeah,
young age is good.
yeah. Like I was put into a headlock and given noogies a lot as a kid, and I
That's
don't
a
know.
lot.
It just desensitized me to stuff like that. Like I never got upset about it.
You also had 2 older
Youngest,
brothers.
yeah, I would
though.
say youngest child syndrome. So
Teach
anyways,
your kid not to do that.
I grab him, pick him up, and I swing him up. And I don't realize that we have our ceiling fan directly above me. And the ceiling fan is always going. It's not like it just happened to be going when we were playing. It's always going. I should have known better. I took that child, threw him right into the ceiling fan.
You're kidding.
And no, I'm not at all.
It was on?
It was on.
Oh.
But it's wintertime, so it's not on.
It was on in the winter?
High. Yeah, we always like it's, but to move air around.
Is this normal?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just, and it like, I don't know why Cassie and I just really love having a fan on. And so right now it's pushing the hot air down. Whereas in the summertime, we'll pull the hot air up. Yep. And yeah, but it was going slower, so it wasn't that bad. And then of course, the angle of the blades was like this, and so when his head hit, it was like, angle of the blades like this, right? And so when his head hit, it was like at this angle, so it like hit, but it like it was like this. I think, I don't know. The blade was moving quick enough that it couldn't really tell. But like he's crying, and then of course Cassie's there as well, and that's her baby. Like, yes, I'm the father of the child, but that is an extension of Cassie. So she's freaking out and trying to also control her emotions at the same time. And I'm trying to not freak out because this is the first time that I have really messed up and I've hurt my child on accident without thinking. It hit right here. So it was pretty hard. It's not like it hit back here or anything. No bleeding. But it was just like telling him, shh, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And then Cassie, she's going to be okay. He's fine. Everything's okay.
Oh,
and then inside my own dialogue, like, you screwed up, you piece of crap. I can't believe you did that, but it's okay. Everything's going to be okay.
Things
and then,
like that are going to happen.
Yeah.
Right?
And I get downstairs. I get ice, a towel, put it on his head. He immediately is like, nah, I don't want that. Looks at Leroy's like, puppy. And just,
And it's over. Yeah. He's
he's done. He's fine.
Yeah,
the
it's
lasting
gonna happen.
effects hurt Cassie and I more than anything.
Yeah.
No
exactly.
bruise, no marks, nothing. Dude, he's totally fine. But that could have been so much worse.
Yeah.
That could have been so much
Kids are
worse.
so much tougher than we think they are. And it's hard because they are our babies and they're everything to you, right? But they are malleable and like healable
Yeah, dude.
little
he's,
green objects that can bounce off of things and be totally fine. I watched Nora walk like a little orangutan with her arms up above her head like this everywhere she goes, and then she falls and she just buckles her knees right into the hardwood or right into the tile, and she just gets up with a smile on her face, and then and you're like, what? That I would be done for like 2 weeks if I felt like that.
Yeah.
But they're tough and it happens. I feel like there were multiple times with my dad where we were jumping on the bed and he would launch me off the bed and I would smack my head onto something, or
Yep.
we'd be playing hockey downstairs and he would take things a little too far and a little too seriously when I was like 7, right? And cross check you into the post or something and tell you it's hockey season.
Gotta learn young though,
Yeah, so
those are good things for dads to do.
Yeah, and you're right though. It is a lot harder for you and your wife.
Yeah, man.
Definitely.
Yeah, that was not good. But I know it's one of many things that are just going to happen in life, and it sucks.
Speaking of things that happen in life, another situation that happened this week.
Okay.
And it brought up a good question, is when is the right time to start goofing around or teach your kid how to make faces and play and like, but by play, I mean, not just like play, but the like, and sticking your tongue out and being a little bit
You said it, joke around, like, yeah.
inappropriately appropriate. Like,
Yeah.
when is it time to do
be
that?
able to
Or
joke
when is
around.
it okay to do that?
And have interactions that are like playful in that way.
Yeah, exactly. Because I don't want to stick my tongue out to Grayson and go, bleh, and then have him go to the store and do that to strangers or something,
Yeah.
But he's 2.5. And when I did that this week, that discussion did come up of like, when is it appropriate to start doing that? Like, when is that an okay time? So,
yeah, and there's the other. I mean, there's the other part of that as well, which is like, if you're a family where cussing is totally normal in the household, when do you shut it off because you can't
Exactly.
communicate to your kid, hey, I cuss at home because I'm at home. I don't cuss when I'm at work,
that's
or I
my-
don't cuss when I'm out doing other events or things.
that's my
like-
Achilles heel is
Yeah.
I just,
I
it is
know.
in my language and
Yeah.
I have such a hard time turning it off.
Yeah,
Especially when something happens and you go like, oh shit, or oh, and
Mm-hmm.
Grayson will say, oh, and you're like, you cannot say that, buddy. You can't say that word. I'm sorry I cussed. I'm sorry I said that. Daddy's got to be better.
Yeah.
I can't teach you those words so that you use those.
yeah. So that's a part of it too. But you're right, like being silly, goofy to the point of like, this is okay for us to do this.
But when is he going to understand that? And like now I'm seeing with him, like I teach him, or like we tried to say like, you can't say OF, right? You can't say that word. But then he says to people, I can't say OF. And he still says it, but he says it because he's saying, I can't say OF. So to me, yeah, like maybe if I'm playing around or goofing around with him, and he's a sponge, he's just going to repeat that. So it's a tough balance of finding when is the right time. So you tell me, Mikey.
So I don't know, because my child's super young. I'm the one that's supposed to be able to ask you.
Exactly.
You're the one that has a child that communicates
know.
better. I'm gonna go to the internet on this one and just check. So it says that so someone posted for their own situation, saying, I, a 40-year-old male, use swear words nearly every day, except for the F word and other things. Their kids are 8 and 12. I think it's perfectly fine. My wife, on the other hand, will yell language and often give me a stern slap on the back or chest to show her disapproval. So I think they're asking, when is it okay, and what would other people
That's a
do?
tough age too. Like, those kids are going to.
I think at 8 or 12, I think it's okay, but I still think, just like we would normally with anything else in life, have the conversation first. I use certain language here. I'm okay or I'm not okay if you use it, and I will be okay with you using it at this age or whatever it may be. Like, but it is a conversation. So what's the age that you're able to have the conversation?
Right.
In this person's situation, my personal opinion, I think that's okay.
Yeah.
I think you can have a conversation, and I think it's okay to let loose around them.
I agree. And yeah, as soon as they know, hey, don't go carve this word into the bathroom stall at your elementary school or middle school, then I think it's probably appropriate.
Yeah,
to
but
be able
at
to
that
joke
point,
around,
I'm not having a conversation about, like, why did you put that word into the stall? It's, why were you carving into the stall at school? What made you feel like you could do that, or
These
why
are
would
deeper
you?
feelings.
Yeah, we're gonna have a different
and I think
conversation.
that's the problem I have.
Yeah.
I think in my situation, not the problem, but I think that's maybe what I jumped the gun early on, is if I do play with Grayson like that and I do make faces and stick my tongue out with him, and he does, and I do tell him, hey, you can't do that, he's going to go around and say, I can't go like this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not any better than him just doing it. So I think you're right. It is a time when he can understand, or they can understand the
Yeah.
brevity of their actions, I guess,
Yeah.
and what they're doing, and when it's appropriate to do those things and when it's inappropriate to do those things.
Yeah. It's tough, but I think with the goofy face, let's get back to that one, because that's definitely the thing that
that's probably fine.
Making faces and things like that. I honestly, I don't, in my opinion, I'm gonna just say I don't think it really matters. I think that if they make a goofy face at someone else, it's the intent. Just like anything else in life,
Sure.
it's always the intent. So as long as they're not they're trying to goof with the person, they're not trying to be mean-spirited, then I'll apologize on their behalf and be like, sorry, I taught them that, but
And
I'm
it's-
not going to make them apologize.
And it's important for them to know in that instance, you know, hey, we joke around doing this at home, right? Our intent is at home is we're doing this for fun.
yeah.
And when you do that out in public, you know, that's your intent as well. When the intent comes from a negative place, that's when it's not okay.
Yeah.
And obviously, probably a 2-year-old is going to grasp that a little bit, but not very much.
Yeah.
But you're right. I think it is the intent in which you teach your kid to use that as well, on top of like when they
Yeah.
are able to do that. But you would just hope people in public, when they see a little kid making a face at them, don't get too mad. And
Yeah.
the people that do, I
And
don't know,
I
probably
want
aren't trustworthy.
I want to ask because our producer, he's had a people facing position within his line of work for a long time. Have you seen the parents that because you're a chill dude? I know you would never get offended by a lot
Nick
of things
makes
that a
faces
kid
at
does.
babies.
Yeah, I was just saying, Nick's the one and get joking with the kids, laughing with them. But have you seen a situation where a parent is really overreacting and you're like, that's not necessary? I mean, yeah, just in general.
Yeah, essentially, yes.
Yeah.
And if like
It probably happened all the time.
if the kid tries to pick up a box off the shelf, they like rip it out of their hands. They're like, "Don't touch anything in this store." It's like,
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
such helicopters, and they don't.
I don't get
Yeah.
that.
You
I
have to
really
let your
don't
kid
understand that.
explore.
Why? Because most boxes in stores, they either have security wrapping or whatever, or they're empty. They're not the actual item.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the actual item in the box itself is not. If it's in there, it's not expensive enough to protect. Or if it is super expensive, then yeah, it's not in there. It's a display item only.
you've never gone to the Apple store.
Oh, are the items actually in there? The
You
actual.
can check yourself out.
No way. What?
If it's on the shelf, you can check yourself out.
How do you guys not get robbed more often? Or is theft a pretty big problem for Apple?
Maybe not.
Nah, who knows? Oh yeah,
he's still on the board.
Yeah, he's like, oh no. I forgot you're a majority
that out.
shareholder within the company. All right, cool. But that's I don't have anything else for dad stuff. Life is boring and fun and wonderful at the same time.
Just to go back to that real quick, I think, like what Nick just said, and I think our kids, I can only speak for myself, but my kids are so lucky that we let them explore. You have to go out and do your thing. And I'm the one that struggles with definitely the helicopter parenting of, oh, be careful what you're doing. Don't get hurt. Don't do this. Don't do that. But mine's more so I'm afraid that he's going to get hurt. And, we try to let him go to the store and teach him what's breakable, what's fragile, what's not. But Grayson grabs a toy and plays with it the whole time we're walking around the store and then puts it back on the shelf. Nora does the same thing. So,
But if he goes up and talks to a random person, you're not worried about that at all.
100% I am. And that's the next
Really?
conversation that we have to start having is, that's probably maybe a good topic for another time. But, stranger danger, when do you start teaching your kid that? Because
Oh, that's a good point. I mean, but we're talking about situations where you're right there.
Exactly.
Not where they're wandering off, because that's a whole nother topic we can get into later.
And that's what I'm saying. Is
Parents that
when
just
do
let
you
their kids
start
run
having
rampant.
to teach that?
That's different.
My son is 2.5.
Yeah.
Nora's a year and 3 months. She's still young to where she's here all the time, but Grayson's starting to in your arms is what I mean by here. But Grayson's running around a little bit. So yeah, when do you? That's a tough.
I am in the mindset of, and if any other parents are actually listening to this and wondering the same thing, when do we start teaching X, Y, and Z? Just start now, because even if it's not getting through to them, it's just practice for you. It's okay for them to not get it. Don't get frustrated.
Yeah.
Just try. And if it doesn't work, don't worry about it. Just keep trying, because you're only going to get more.
You're just going to figure
in
it
a
out.
repetition.
Yeah,
So,
and
yeah.
they're probably not going to remember. But I guess the balance is how do you help your kid see the world a little bit more, or be aware or understand maybe that they need to be careful of the people that they talk to without
sometimes, dude,
helping them lose or without losing that innocence or breaking that barrier a little bit.
Yeah, because they trust the world implicitly.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they have to go through situations where the world breaks them a little bit. But then at the same time, you don't want the world to destroy them. So you're right. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah.
And Grayson loves to say hi to people. His favorite thing, my least favorite thing that he does, because I am an introvert, especially when I'm out in public and I'm shopping and I'm doing my own thing. I really don't want to talk to people. I just want to do my thing. I want to check out and I want to get home. I don't want to small talk. And Grayson had this thing for like 6 months. When we would go anywhere for anything, he would look at any woman that walked by and he would go, "Mom? Is that my mom? Is that my mommy? Mommy?" And I was just dying inside. I could not, like, my back skin was curling, and you can't, like, you can say, "Grayson, stop," but he doesn't stop. He just keeps doing it, and he thinks it's funny because he's getting a rise out of you. He's getting a reaction. And if I was him, I would probably do it too, because it embarrasses me and it makes my cheeks all flushed and rosy, and I have to tell people I know that his mom is at home or his mom's up front. Like, I don't even know how to react in that situation. So anyways, enough about the dad stuff. Let's try to defeat our friend Nick in a little game we like to call 2 Lies and 1 Truth, or a multiple choice question that's based around parenting. And we base this like a roguelike game, which means that as soon as we lose, we're out. It's done. We're over. There's no second chances. We're just doing one run to see how many questions we can answer, and we'll go as far as we can.
And it's a team event. Give
It's
me your
team
hand.
event.
Give me your hand. Give me your hand. Give me your hand. I don't want a high five. Give me your hand. Yes. Next time. Or not next time.
That was
maybe
harassment.
at some point. We're going to interlock fingers.
You signed an HR waiver that you just broke.
You will touch me.
All right, Nick, over to you.
How well have you guys done on the previous times we've played?
Not great, Bob.
Not at all. We have not got a single question right yet.
Yeah, this is fun.
Level 1.
So far
Not
we're 0 and 2. You guys have 0. I have 2.
Thanks for the
And,
reminder, dude.
Yeah, we're gonna see if these guys can last longer than they have. Okay, so this one's another number 1. I'm so sorry.
God, another.
I'm just hoping that this one's like that's there. I'm hoping.
You know how sailboats float by wind? If I was a sailboat, you just went and sucked all the wind out of my sails.
Well, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Go ahead.
You ready to play?
Yep.
Okay. How large is the largest born child? Is it? Do you want me to go in order of top to bottom, or bottom to top, or do you want me to just
How many choices do we have?
3.
Okay.
You
That
can
doesn't
go.
matter.
Dude, up to you.
Okay.
You just read it as it is.
Okay. 25 3/4 inches.
Wait. I'm sorry. The largest. This is the length of the child?
Yes.
Oh my God. I
not
thought it was going to be weight. I
Googling
was
this
like, I guess
answer.
I'd have a
I'm-
better chance at
I'm
weight.
mathing
Weight
it
as well. Weight as
into
well.
so.
Oh, this is.
25
Oh, okay.
Weight as well is coming.
I should let you finish.
Say that again. How many inches? 25
25
inches
3/4.
and 3/4 inches.
Do you think
Okay.
converting it to feet is going to help you?
Just writing it out is going to help me.
Oh,
And then 20 pounds for that child.
Oh my dear God. Oh my God. That poor woman. Dude, women are so much stronger than we are.
I did mix these numbers up, so this will be even more fun. Or 34 1/4 inches. 22 pounds.
Oh man. Okay. It's right there with the 20. That's still so big. Oh my gosh.
Or 14.5 inches and 17 pounds.
Okay. So my thought process on this, while you're finishing writing that down, my thought process is that he made one of the answers up that's closer to the others. Like I don't think it's the 14 because it's too different than the other
I feel
two
like we
answers.
fall into that trap
So he's
each time we play this.
I don't know about that, but I honestly I think that he put one that was closer to the bigger numbers because that was going to be harder for us to guess the actual one. So do you want to go with the biggest number you put down, or do you want to put the middle?
I think we each get our own answer, right?
No, we're as a team.
We do.
We just,
Say, how many times have we played this? And I still
what?
don't
We
know?
do get our own each? No, yeah, thank you.
I don't
We're
know
a
what I'm
team.
doing.
We're a team. Give me your hand.
I'm not holding
Give me
your
your
hand.
hand. Link your fingers.
I think it's.
Go for it.
I feel like it's dude, 34 inches is 12, 24. That's almost 3 feet long. That baby is taller than my son.
That's a yardstick.
That is a yardstick. There's no way.
Was that option A?
No, that was option B. I think it's A.
I'm going to go A.
I think
let's
it's
go
A
You
too,
want to lock
but
it in?
my gut's telling me it's B. Oh, man.
Is there a part of this world, is there a country where we feel like, oh, that's actually
that's
plausible?
absurd.
Like if Nick tells us the answer and then tells us more about the answer, and we're like, oh, from that country, that
inches.
makes sense.
No, that's just called
Like
racism.
if it's a Northern European country or
No, that's just being racist.
a Northern European country. Yeah, I hate them wasps. Northern European country, the Sweden, the Norways of the world.
Yeah, it's being mean to Sweden and Norway. You're saying they eat a lot. They have big babies. I don't know.
you're saying it's well, whatever. Yeah,
I
sure.
would say
don't know.
that it's. I don't know. You should probably cut that part.
Don't cut it, Nick.
Dude,
Never cut it.
I don't know. I really think it's 34 inches, but
Is 34 the biggest one?
look me in the eyes.
No, you can't try to read that, man. He's stone cold.
Is it 20 pounds? 22 pounds? Or is it 17 pounds?
We don't answer him. Hi, your partner here. You're not going to get a read
nothing.
off of him.
I got nothing.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
I think
I'm going to go. I want B. That's where I'm leaning.
34 inches?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I think
That's so
I
long,
think it's
though.
34 inches. Okay, let's lock it in.
All right, lock it in.
No.
Dang it.
You finally made it back.
Yes! Lock it in. Dang it.
Great high five.
Nah.
Can you believe that?
Wow.
God.
Do you have any details about it at all?
We don't need to hear him.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, man.
And we're probably a little short on time anyway, so just move on to number 2.
I'm gonna give you like a fun fact afterwards.
Okay, cool.
So we're going to lose.
This person has had many conquests in the way past.
Oh, this is Genghis Khan.
No, it's Rasputin.
Oh,
He would have been responsible for the birth of more than 45 children, 75 children, or more than 100 children.
Say this one more time. Who is this? No.
you're not going to give us the name of the person.
No, because
Okay.
I want you to just. So this person should have the largest.
Gene pool.
They will have the greatest descendants.
Yeah, that's it's
Genghis
Genghis
Khan.
Khan. Yeah.
Did we get that
Yeah.
right?
It's not.
Was it Rasputin?
not?
No.
Oh, fuck. I don't know.
Okay, so what answers once again are? Say that. Can you say the answers again?
45, 75, or more than 100.
More than 100. Why wouldn't we just go with like this? I thought Genghis Khan had like 300
well-
kids or something.
This might be documented because I don't think anybody knows how many kids Genghis Khan
Oh, fair enough. Oh, okay.
had.
I'm gonna say 100. What are you thinking? Over 100 or whatever.
I think that's
that
the
third
right
answer was.
answer.
Yeah. All right. C.
It is.
It is. It
Who was
really?
Way to go. Number 2. So,
Nice.
the Pharaoh Ramses II.
I can see that.
how
that
did we
makes
not
sense.
know that?
Does it say like documented or anything like that?
I don't know.
I could have sworn it was Genghis Khan.
Do you know the age difference between the two? Like, who came first?
Oh, Genghis Khan came a long time after, right?
and many times. So I think, Genghis Khan was much later than the Pharaoh Ramses II.
Yeah, are we sure?
I think so. Is that the next question?
What was your fun fact?
Yeah, what was the fun fact?
Just that was that. Who was
That he got it on?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did.
he was a
I just
freaky
think it's
deaky
amazing.
man.
Like, it is crazy to think if he was that long ago and he had 100 children. When think of how many people were in the world. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
He has
He-
so many. from
Yeah.
his branch.
Do you think
his
that
brood.
when you have that many children, you're trying to overcompensate for something?
No, I think you're just
Stupid horny.
swimming your way through the population because you're the king. You're the pharaoh, and you can.
And
That sounds
you
exhausting.
probably didn't have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know.
Oh,
instead
really?
of
You think-
using your hand, you could be, you know. Anyway,
You-
that sounds terrible. Let's move on.
Yeah, that was a bad way to segue. Anyways, third question. Awesome job.
Thank you.
Yeah, way to go. Now we're tied up 2-2.
Woohoo!
Okay,
Technically, we're still we're
the
1-2.
average toddler takes how many steps a minute?
Oh,
40 steps a minute, 100 steps a minute, 176 steps a minute.
and the toddler age, Mike. What's the toddler age again? Like, is my son's
I
a toddler now,
think-
right?
Yeah, he's walking, right?
Yeah, but is
Regularly?
Is it like 1 to 3? Is that a toddler?
I guess that walking doesn't constitute a toddler. I think
Yeah.
toddler age is. I don't know. I know nothing.
Well, we can't-
so
we
don't
can't look
judge
it up.
me.
That's-
But
yeah.
I would guess like 1.5,
Okay, on
To-
average, just the average age.
4.
I don't know. Maybe okay. Let's just say it's
I
that.
don't know. I'd
So
say a
then-
2-year-old is a toddler.
Okay, so then we have 178 steps a minute.
176,
40.
100, or 40. It's not 40. It's way
It's
more
definitely
than that.
not 40. Yeah.
I don't think. I think it's 176.
Yeah, let's go with 176.
You are correct.
What are we doing?
3 in. We're gonna beat Nick tonight.
Wow.
If he runs out of questions, we win.
We're
Right?
different people.
We are.
We are changed. We're gamers now.
I leaned forward in my chair. That's the difference.
Yeah.
I
I
was
think.
back here.
Are we gonna? If we just keep getting right, are we just gonna have to say, yeah, we have to stop here?
No, once he runs out of questions, it's over. We beat him. It's like a roguelike.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Thank you. Good point. Now he's gonna start getting.
He
with
only
the
had 3
tougher
questions.
No. Sorry.
He did not think we were getting this far.
No, I shouldn't have said that. I made our situation worse.
Yeah.
I disagree. Let's see. This doesn't even look like
Well, let's look it up.
I'm out of questions. Let's see.
He just said he's out of questions.
Let's. No, he's not. He
I
said
have
he has
one, but
more.
I want to make them harder.
Yeah.
Give us it.
All
Give
right,
us it.
so-
We're gonna get it wrong anyways.
Okay, back to the other ones. A 2-year-old has the same amount of neural pathways as an adult. Has twice as many neural pathways as an adult, or 3 times as many as neural pathways. as
Okay,
an adult.
so before we even get into guessing, neural pathways, is that like their ability to process? Or is that like their ability, like if you,
It's their ability
if you
to
flick
learn.
them, how much it hurts?
It's their ability to learn.
It's their ability to learn. Then I know for a fact that they learn like crazy,
Exactly.
way more. They're most impressionable at this age. So I'm going to say it's more. It's definitely more.
It's not the same.
So
It's
do you think it's 2 or 3
more.
times? I'm willing to go 3 times. Like we've just gone with the big number and we've done all right.
I think it's twice, but I'm fine with going with the big one. Because I've never heard that they're I
And
don't
it's
know.
as an adult, you said, Nick?
Yeah,
More than an adult. Not
Yeah.
like, I don't know why that's the way I'm asking.
it's like
it,
why
but-
it's so much easier for them to
Like,
learn a
as a
second language
fully
or
developed
another language
person.
than it is for an adult to learn
Yes.
another language. But it's because they have X times as many neural pathways. 2 or 3. I think it's 2, but let's go with 3.
Okay. I'm not. Yeah, I feel fairly strongly about the 3, and I'll take the L on this if I'm wrong.
All right.
All right.
You're going to take an L.
Was it 2?
It was 2.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Lock it
okay.
in. Lock it
No,
in.
I'll give you a pound. Good job, Mikey. Well, we
Yeah,
got
well
the
done.
3. That's our high
Okay.
score. So
Nice.
next time we'll make him run out of questions.
Yeah.
And when Nick's on the road, he's going to join us on
The Apple
screen
Vision Pro.
from the unholy land that is
The matrix of the
matrix
beyond,
of
and
Apple,
it is
wherever.
terrifying.
Yeah,
Like,
my God, is it
oh
unsettling?
my word. If anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, like it's just you'll see. It's so weird.
Yeah,
Like, I guess you
oh.
could Google. What would someone Google if they wanted to see what
Well,
it
it
looks
was
like to
okay. So
FaceTime via Apple Vision
yeah,
Pro?
but he also had the setting on a spooky lake or something like that. Awful things. Anyways, on that note, let's take a break.
Okay. Are you tired of having to decide which lava lamp you're gonna get for your cool new bedroom?
All the time.
It's frustrating. It's absurd having to think, do I want the lava lamp that has a cool neon pink with the evanescence of a soft purple around it, something that's a little bit more subtle, something that says, hey, I'm here, I'm tender, I'm soft, and I'm lovely. Or do you maybe think, I've only got these other options that are really a red, really violent color, but it's not matching the mood.
What about glitter? How do you feel about glitter in your lava lamp?
See, that's the other thing. You could have glitter.
Do
in
you
there
want a
as
shimmer?
well. Do I what?
Want a shimmer?
I think life is full of shimmering, and we should do it a lot more than we normally do it. Well, if you're struggling to think what lava lamp you should get as far as the decor goes in your room, then let me introduce you to Lava Live, the subscription service that gives you the perfect lava lamp monthly for your house and whatever room you need it for. So you just take a picture of your room and we'll send you a lava lamp that's gonna really help bring it all together. For a monthly fee of $84.33, you can get the perfect curtailed lava lamp that's really going to bring it all together and make the guests come over say, wow, you're a douchebag.
And you put some sparkle in your style.
And you are definitely 35, but you now make me think you have the mentality of a 13-year-old. But, hey, it's a lava lamp and it's cool. And why not spend $83.44 a month on one? Because, boy, you have so much money, and why not waste it? Use code DaddyKnowsBest at checkout to get a 15% discount for a quarter of a month. LavaLive.com. There's a lot of lava in this world. You might as well live with it.
I tell you, the ads just keep
Dude,
getting weirder.
it's crazy. I can't believe what they try to get you to subscribe to nowadays.
It's odd.
A monthly subscription for lava lamps? That's
pretty
crazy. Although I have been thinking about getting a new lava lamp for a while. So I don't know. I'll
Should, they're
check it
fun.
out.
Anyways, like we said at the top of the show, we like to discuss being dads, everything that goes along into that. So if you don't want to hear us talk about being dads or parents, or you don't have kids and you don't care, feel free to skip to the first commercial break or after the first commercial break, and we're going to hop into movies, TVs, games, movies, previews, reviews, whatever else.
I like how you're telling people this after
It's
we've
a little
done
late.
all the dad stuff.
It's a new format that we're trying. I forgot to mention it at the top. It's better late than never. So I'm just going to say it now so that you had to go through that.
You got to it's just getting yourself in the repetition of things for the future.
Use code Live Laugh Love to get an extra 15% off for our blender.
For a quarter of the month.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So
not a full month.
this week, our dad's distractions. We've been playing a little game called Split Fiction.
Ooh.
I think we got a quarter of the way through it last night.
Yep.
Just about, maybe a little bit less.
So about 4 hours in.
Yep, just about. Split Fiction is a 2-player, either online co-op or at home on the couch, local co-op game. It's a split screen game.
Yeah.
It's a platformer with a little bit of action, a little bit of FPS, a little bit of everything tied into it. The story is based off of 2 writers who I don't know if it's in the future. I would imagine so because of the technology that they have, but they essentially have dream pods where they can go and live out their stories and write their stories.
Yeah.
These two ladies get caught up in the same dream pod or dream bubble. They get stuck in each other's stories. They figure out that the big bad or the corporate CEO is trying to steal all of their ideas, not just the ones that they're writing for this story that they're being published for or they were brought in to be published for. So that's what you're trying to accomplish, is you're trying to get out of the dream world or out of the simulation world, and you're trying to get back into the real world, and you're trying to, I would assume, we haven't beat it yet. We haven't gotten far enough, but we're trying to beat the big bad. We're trying to free ourselves so that we can get our ideas back so that they don't get stolen and our stories.
And we're trying to break the machine that is doing all of this. So the creation, the invention of the corporation, like they're trying to break it so that they can't steal all their ideas. Which first and foremost, all I want to say is I don't know why they're not actually investigative journalists or detectives or things like that, because they assume so much about what this corporation's doing, and they're like right, but they don't have any real details.
Well, they figured out that they were trying to steal their ideas, and I think that's all that they really needed.
But like how and what? No,
look,
there's just
it's
so
a 12-hour
much assuming going on there, and also they're not great writers, and one of them is very desperate to get published.
Yeah,
and I was like,
she is.
Gee, you've probably been trying to get
really
published for a
pushing
very long time.
I don't know how many times she said, I thought I was just here to get published. I thought I was just here to get published. She said that a few times. But early
The
impressions
story's
from you.
Whatever.
Tell me how you're feeling.
Yeah. So this is Hazelight Studios. They're the same developer that made It Takes Two and A Way Out. I never played A Way Out, but I played It Takes Two, and it was awesome because it was also a platformer. Very much so. It's like what you would see from a Nintendo platformer, but you have to play it co-op. You cannot play it single player, and it makes you do tasks that require cooperation and communication. It's awesome because I'm playing it with you, and we have a repertoire with one another already, so it's really enjoyable because it's easy for us to work through difficult problems.
Parts, and you can help me when I'm struggling, vice versa.
Yeah. And this team, because this is now their third game, has done such an amazing job of creating it where it's like, I'm over here, I'm stuck in this section over here, and I need you to do this for me to be able to get through that section while you're then trying to go do your thing, but it all times out really well. It's awesome in that way. As far as it goes with, I'm just going to say, like, as far as it goes to the meat of an actual game, I find it kind of tough. Like, I think my biggest complaint last night was not necessarily the story. Like, video game stories are typically, not always, they've gotten way better, but they're always usually like, whatever. And that's not why I play a game. I'm there to like feel what the game is trying to do gameplay wise. My issue is that we do these side stories and you don't really get a reward from it. And when we got out of the last side story, it says, oh, we have to go complete all these, because if we don't, then they get all these stories.
Yeah, they're stealing those stories.
When we escape, they're going to get all these stories. Once again, there's no context that says that's going to happen. There's no hints that that's going to happen. They're just
kind of throwing that at you.
Implicitly know it. It's so wild. But as far as it goes with you and I having fun, this is their best game. This is such a blast. The bosses that we played last night, we played two bosses. They were a lot of fun. The second one was probably my favorite. The cutscene moments that are gameplay, like it's not QT quick time events, but it's like, I don't know, just, dude, it's cinematic in the right ways with the gameplay.
It looks good.
Yeah. It's unfortunately
Smooth.
too cinematic in cutscenes where I don't really care. I'm not going to give it like a personal score at this point because I want to keep going through it. Initial impressions, I want to keep playing it. It's super awesome. I do think that you and I being gamers helps because it is a little bit more difficult. I don't know if this is one that I would try to get into with someone that doesn't video game as much. So to people that are thinking about it, if you know somebody that's a gamer, play it with them. If you are going to play it with someone like a spouse that doesn't normally game, but they're willing to try it with you, be patient with them. help them out. This is going to be a little bit more of a difficult task. How about you? What do you
think? The camera
think?
work's going to be toughest, I think, to learn for somebody that's just picking it up. But,
Yeah.
I agree with a lot of what you said. I think it's a really well put together game. I love the action. I love the combat. I love everything that we're doing gameplay wise. I think it runs incredibly smooth. We're playing on a PS5. I'm playing on a PS5 Pro. You're on a PS5.
Yeah, technically speaking, it was good for me.
It was great. I had no
amazing
issues.
for you?
It runs really smooth. It looks really good. No glitches, no tearing, no nothing. So I have no complaints there. 10 out of 10 performance wise. I love the worlds that we've jumped into. I think there's maybe a little bit more that we could have gotten out of some of them so far, but I love the worlds that we've been thrown into. I'm excited to hop in and keep playing from where we left off last night, because it kind of left us at a fun little spot to continue from. So I'm excited to pick up from where we left off. I think that maybe the only criticism, maybe not the only criticism, but the big criticism I have is the writing of the game, or maybe the flow of the gameplay, I guess. There are cutscenes that do go a little bit long, and maybe it's because we're at the beginning of the game still and we're in the first half of the game, but it does feel like there are places where it could lose you if you just want to hop in and play the game and keep playing and playing and playing. There are a lot of cutscenes that pull you away from that. Yeah. I also think that the writing maybe isn't the best.
You're being really nice.
It's not horrible by any means. It's not a poorly written game. It's not a poorly written story. It's not a well written story, I don't think, in my opinion. There's a lot of places where they could have done better, or they could add a little bit more development or information of what's going on in the world around them, or give you a little bit more, maybe give you that nugget that makes you care about the story a little bit more.
It doesn't feel well thought out.
Yeah, I don't care too much about the story, if I'm being honest. I think it's a cool idea. I think it's a really cool idea that you're a writer and you get to hop into a simulation where you can live out your ideas. But I think that the overall story could have been written a little bit more. There's nothing there that is the carrot at the end of my stick that makes me want to see what happens, right? Mm-hmm. I want to keep playing the game because it's so fun to play, and I want to be in these worlds, and I want to have these challenges, and I want to be in it, and I want to play it. But I'm not coming back because the story is drawing me back. Yeah. It's not something that I'm super engaged in. So I really have enjoyed my time with it. I've had a lot of fun. We laughed a ton last night when we get stuck or do something stupid, or somebody doesn't see what's going on, or we just die doing something instantly.
Yeah. But it's also very forgiving, because if you die instantly,
you just come right back.
As long as the other person's alive.
I'm also fairly certain, and I don't think we've run into this yet, but we might, because we're not elite gamers, right? We're just average dads that like to game. But I think the bosses are regressive at points where if you continue to lose over and over and over and over again, they will get easier. If one of the bosses has turrets, maybe 10 times after you've lost in a row, those turrets aren't there as you continue to try to beat the boss. So I think that they are a little bit regressive, but I enjoy it. I think I'm right now, if I had to give it a score, I'm bordering between an 8.5 and a 9.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Because it runs so well. Everything, it's a video game, man. It is a game. I enjoy it so much more than anything else that I'm playing right now at the moment. I'm playing Spider-Man 2 for the first time through, because for some reason I couldn't finish that game. But I'm having just as much fun playing Split Fiction as I am that game, and that's a hugely highly rated game and successful game, and I don't know, I love it. I'm having a ton of fun. So.
I'll say the combat side of things, it feels like it clicks well enough, but because you just mentioned Spider-Man 2, and that's the Spider-Man series is a game where the combat feels so good to do. The Arkham games feel so good to do. This feels like it feels like it's so close to that. It's just not quite there.
It feels I agree.
It just and maybe it's just because it's not deep enough. It's very simple. But it's just it's so close.
To me, I get we're getting bits and pieces of inspiration from different games
Oh, yeah.
and different
Yeah.
platformers, and you feel like you get into a situation and you're like, holy cow, like this feels exactly like X. Or we were swinging last night from something and it's like, holy cow, that felt like Spider-Man. Not quite as smooth or good as that, but they mix so much in and they hit you with so many things. And I like that when you learn, like, you know, obviously your attack button is the same throughout the whole thing. Your dash and your jump and your sprint, that's all going to be the same, but they throw different mechanics and things at you that you're going to be doing. And you don't, as soon as you kind of get that down, they don't let you marinate on that and figure that out enough. It's something different, and it changes it up on you, and it's a new challenge, or it's a new thing that you have to figure out. And I love that. I give them kudos on that, because I feel like a lot of games, you get through it and it just feels so samey after a while.
And I will say, just from as far as, if anybody doesn't know this, only one person needs to buy the game and the other person can just join them. So you download, basically, Mike got the game, I downloaded the file, and then I'm only allowed to jump in when he invites me.
Yeah.
It's perfect. But there is a downside to that. If you are both gamers like we are, since I did not get the game, I don't get the trophies.
I forgot about that.
You do get the trophies.
Yeah, because you did something wild last night. You pulled something out of your rear end.
Yeah, I did something where it was like...
and we got a trophy for that.
Yeah, and you saw it and I didn't see it.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that, because it's one of those things where it's like, well, yeah, I didn't get the game. Like, I get it. That's more of like on the console type of thing. So if you're a trophy hunter and you game, like, you just need to know that going into it. I
do think that benefit outweighs that con, though, because I can buy the game and I can play with you, and then I can play with Nick. I can invite Nick to play, and then I can invite 100 friends and we can all play it. And the fact that they're still so hugely successful with their games is amazing.
Yeah,
you can buy a game and play it for free with somebody else, and they still sell like hotcakes.
I'm gonna look it up real quick, but It Takes Two, I think most recently was like over 28 million copies sold.
Is that right?
Which is crazy, because that's people that actually bought the game. So that means 28 million bought it, but then a certain amount more have played it with people that bought it. 23 million? Yeah, dude. And that's incredible. 23 million is, just for reference.
And A Way Out was 11.
Yeah. And so for reference, I'm trying to think of another really popular game. Spider-Man sold 17 million or something like that. And that game's immensely popular. So good job to the team. They knocked it out
33 million.
33 million for Spider-Man? Really?
In May 2022, the Marvel Spider-Man series was reported to have sold over 33 million copies.
Oh, whoops. I was way off.
Marvel Spider-Man 2 sold
bad.
over 5 million units in 10 days.
Wow. Okay. But it sells like those types of games, or
I think
sells
that's
like
maybe
a Nintendo
combining
game or
both of them.
something.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd have to dive into those numbers. But either way, it's crazy. It's especially when you consider half of the people that are playing are not buying the game. They're playing with somebody else. And maybe it's not half, because some of those people are buying it to do exactly like you said, get the trophy and play with somebody else because they got hooked on it and they want to play the game with somebody else, which is another, I'll leave it on this for my preview of it, or I guess early review, is the replayability. If the story's not great, even in a game where the story is great, you play through it and you feel that story the first time, you get through the game. If it's a really good game, maybe you want to go back to it, but the story is kind of why you were in it in the first place, and you're probably not going to go back to play that because you've already been through it. You already know what happens, and that kind of ruins that. Maybe not ruins it, but spoils it, right?
Yeah.
Whereas a game like this, the story doesn't matter so much, but the replayability is there to where it is so fun, and you play it with somebody and you say, holy cow, I got to stop saying holy cow. I want to play with you, but I want to show this to Nick because I want to play with Nick, and I think that he would really enjoy that. So I think the replayability is there. I'll leave it on that for my end. Any final words from you?
No, that's it. I just I want to jump into.
You want to talk about Daredevil real quick? You want to give me quick 2 minutes on that?
Yes.
All right. So the first 2 episodes of Daredevil came out this week?
First 2 episodes came out on Disney Plus, and it is in the continuity of the original Daredevil series that was on Netflix. It's in the universe with all the other Marvel characters and whatnot. Daredevil was in She-Hulk, as Nick recently learned. So Because of spoilers, all that fun stuff, we won't really get into that. I just want to say, like, this is a show that, for people that don't know, it went through rewrites. They kind of had to recalculate on what the show was going to do. Foggy and Karen from the original series, they were not going to be in it originally.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but there was, I don't know if it was backlash or if it was just like since the original direction of the show wasn't going well, they pivoted.
You got to have one
Yeah.
of them, if not both of them, in the
Right.
series. They're so huge in the comics.
But I'm going to say, so I've only seen the first episode. Did you watch both episodes?
I've only seen the first episode
Okay.
as well.
So I just want to say, like, even from the get-go in the first episode, it is oozing with style.
Mm-hmm.
It is so good. It has more style than the original series did, for sure.
Agreed.
I don't know if that's going to be off-putting to people. It's not for me. I think it actually really lends itself to the nature of the show, comic book style. Not that the stylization is comic booky. It's just oh my god,
It just felt a little bit better.
it just felt it was just like, oh, this is so much cooler. It felt cooler.
It felt cool. Yeah, you're right.
Like, it's Daredevil still. It's very violent. It's very dark. It might be darker than any of the other seasons. I'm not really sure quite yet.
I think it's going to be more violent.
I think it's going to be more violent for sure.
And I think it's my guess, again, no spoilers, is that it's
Yeah.
going to be a little bit darker than the other seasons.
I think it is too, but we'll see. We'll see where it goes. And I'm just so jazzed. I normally with the Marvel stuff, I would have watched it day one, but in the last couple of years fell off because the show quality wasn't really all that great.
There's a couple of them that were real good.
Yeah, the movies haven't been all that intriguing. I don't want to even say they're bad because I don't necessarily think they're bad.
It just almost felt like a graduation, right? We went through
Right.
so many years of being with all those heroes and that whole storyline, and then it felt like it ended.
Yeah,
you know?
After Endgame, it was like,
There's
yeah,
more
okay.
phases and more that happens, but
Yeah, but it doesn't feel cohesive. It just feels like they're trying to figure it out, and it shows like the quality is just not quite
Agatha
there.
all along was real good.
And that's the thing. I've heard it's really good, and I didn't have any desire to watch it. Still haven't seen it.
Real good.
I watched She-Hulk. I actually did like She-Hulk. I don't know why. I'm weird like that. But I thought that was fun. But that was the last show I watched. So, anyways, if anyone is listening and thinking about watching it because you watched the first season or the third season, or the second season, second season's not good, so I don't really talk about it much. But if you've watched the original show, just do a quick recap, get yourself caught up, and jump into this. It's awesome, and I think they're knocking it out of the park so far.
Yeah.
Man, I hope they stick the landing.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to judge a book by its cover after one episode, right? Even two, but I hope for the same things. It feels better. I feel like it looks better too. The writing seems like it's there. I hope that it carries through the entire season. I hope for all the same things because there's so much potential in that series. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm excited for more.
Okay, so we've got a little bit of time left.
Before we hop on,
yeah, what
we need to
else did you
hear
have?
one more word from our sponsors.
Oh my gosh, you have another commercial? We have another sponsor?
We do.
We're so lucky.
We are. I was also just putting another break in there because that was almost exactly 20 minutes of talking. It was 45 minutes and then 20 minutes and then we'll finish.
I just figured one commercial break was. Go for it.
Hit me with the record button here. I got you. Ready? Let's do another commercial.
What do you mean? Who was recording?
He's already recording. I don't know. Just felt like I needed to say something.
Don't edit anything. I love it when it's just raw.
Mikey, do you live in an area with trees?
Oh my gosh, do I ever?
Do the squirrels strip your trees, eat your bark, eat your fence, eat anything around? I seen them eat your furniture patio, your patio furniture.
I'm being really honest with you. I don't think I'm that OCD about it.
I know that you have a squirrel problem, and I think that you should try out Snatch a Squirrel by the Squirrel Snatchers.
Oh no.
It is a monthly service that comes to you at the small cost of $19.99. You can get a small discount of 25 cents with our code Squirrel Snatchers for life. They will come to your house and snatch your squirrels. If they come back, they're going to paint those tails. And if they come back a third time, they're going to know and they're going to go somewhere far, far away. Now, these aren't professionals with a background check. These are people that have signed up to be squirrel catchers. Sorry, squirrel snatchers. So, when you have a schedule, make sure you lock your doors. Most of them are nice people. But we don't know who's coming through. We don't know if they've been bit. They carry the bubonic plague. You might as well get those squirrels out of your house. You don't know what they're carrying. You don't know what they're wearing. You don't know what they're taking. You don't know what they're eating. Get them out. Squirrel snatchers. Find one today. Welcome back, everyone. All right. To end our evening, we like to do a little thing called the Wheel of Discussion, where we throw up a bunch of topics that we didn't have enough time to throw into the main discussion or talk about during the week. So we are going to spin the wheel, and whatever it lands on, we're going to discuss.
Cool.
Nick, hit it.
Spin the wheel. The Wheel of Fortune.
All right. I know nothing of this.
I know. So I can tell you, we landed on the SpaceX failed launch. It's the second failed launch of their spacecraft, and it's the dude. What's the name of it? It's the what? You just say it. Just talk to me, Nick. Talk to me.
Heavy.
It's the Super Heavy. That's the name of it.
Like
That's the
30
best they could do.
The 30. Oh, it's no. Well, it's just Launch 8.
Yeah, I know, but I mean that's the name of the that's Super Heavy's the
The
name.
Super Heavy is the booster.
I tell you what,
30.
Starship
I
Enterprise,
found the name.
the Voyager.
I was going to say the Nostromo from Alien.
Oh yeah, oh my gosh, Alien has some really cool ship
Couldn't
names.
remember that. Yeah, they do.
This is a private company, like they can do whatever they want, and the Super Heavy's the name they came up with. Hire some writers. Anyways,
Could be worse.
but you know more about this, Nick. What's
Yeah.
up?
So anyway, it was launching up, and it normally breaks into two pieces when it gets to the top, and then this, the rocket part returns back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the scissor just like grabs it. Pretty awesome. Pretty cool to see that.
But that didn't
reusable
happen.
thing. No, that worked just fine.
Oh.
But the other rocket was going on its like trajectory to do its thing. I don't really know the whole story as well too. But then 1 minute from its like destination point,
Sure.
one of the engines just like failed.
Hmm.
And then the next engine failed.
And then
And
it all
then it
just
started
exploded.
spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning.
Yeah.
And then we lost signal, and then that was it.
So
They
it's
were
was-
sad.
You, I
then
would
they're
describe that
forced-
description as it was gripping.
They were forced to make it explode.
Ooh, that's not
Yes.
great.
that's why we have the pictures of the
I've
debris
seen.
here.
I watched this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
you
I
watched
saw
it.
this
I
too.
saw pictures of it, but that's it. Oh my gosh, dude. That's crazy. It's an unmanned or uncrewed ship, rapid unscheduled disassembly during its ascent into space and lost contact with the ground. It's the Starship. That's what it's called. Okay. Well, Starship Enterprise, Starship, whatever. Yeah. Try harder,
But
guys.
it exploded. So
That's so wild.
Unfortunate. That stinks.
Dude,
I mean,
and it was
regardless
this,
of-
and it says it's the second time in a row that it's happened. Oof. Yikes, guys. Well,
Regardless of how you feel about the owner of that company,
Mhm.
it does stink. Like competition in space is good.
Some might say it's got a bad musk to it.
Yeah, it does. That's good.
Yeah.
But
Ready to spin that wheel, or you got anything else you want to say
no, I
about
was
it?
just going to say competition in space is good. I think the further we can
Oh,
push
yeah.
the envelope, the better. But there's also probably a lot more going on up there than we realize or know about. So
Yeah, and I don't know how many other companies are really in that same space
Yeah.
besides NASA.
yeah, what's Boeing doing up there?
Yeah. Barely being a company anymore. Like they are. That's a whole nother topic that we could get into with like the planes. And
we
I
don't
think it
need
was
to.
when it was a fork in the road situation and they went the wrong direction. And
I don't know
apparently
anything
it's
about
bad.
what's going on. They were just a big company, and I got to think if
yeah.
there's somebody in space, maybe it's them.
They
Anyways.
Go ahead
and
they
spin
made a
that
bad
wheel.
business decision. Here we go. Spin that wheel. All right. It's the Oscars, ladies and gentlemen. Happened last Sunday. So 6 days ago, Conan hosted. Did anyone here watch any of it live?
Did you?
No, I did not watch any of it live. I had some other things going on that I had to attend to, but I did watch all of Conan's monologue. It was great because it was really just him like doing a late night monologue. There wasn't anything different about what he does. Conan as a personality is very, he knows what to do. He knows how to get up there, please a crowd, all that fun stuff. So he was fantastic. The movies that won, I was surprised in the best animated category. I had seen The Wild Robot, and it was so amazing. We watched it twice in one day. Like, that's how it was awesome. I thought it was going to win, but another one called Flow did, which is the first Oscar won by in the country of Latvia.
Oh, Latvia. That's where they're from.
Yeah.
Grayson
It's on Max.
is hooked.
He likes
on
it?
Flow. We have
Okay.
probably watched that, without exaggerating, 5 or 6 times in the
Wow.
past week.
Animated, and there's no talking, right?
Nope, it's just animals
That's so
on a
cool.
boat in a flood, and he absolutely loves it.
And it's also built, it was created in this, I think, an open source animation program or something like that. Dude, I don't know what the actual program is, but I'm pretty sure it's like open source or something. People were talking about that. So yeah, that was a big one. Also, Adam Sandler did a bit where he was in shorts and a hoodie, and he said, "Chalamet!"
I love that guy,
which
man.
was a throwback to what's her name that hosted the Golden Globes, Nikki Glaser. She made a joke about him saying Chalamet, and he did it at the Oscars.
I love Adam Sandler
seemed
so
like
much.
it
He's
just
so great.
from what I understand, it seemed like it was just a little bit more of like a fun time than Adrian Brody
One best actor.
one best
for
actor.
The Brutalist, which I haven't seen.
I haven't seen either, but he gave the longest acceptance speech. Apparently, he like just got up there and just kind of talked. Like he didn't really have anything prepared, and he went a little long in the tooth.
Mikey
and-
Madison won for Best Actress.
I don't
for
even know
Inanora.
who that
I haven't
is.
seen that either.
and Honora won Best Picture, and I haven't seen it either. But I do know. So that's the one.
Got
that's,
some movies to watch.
We do, and I wanted to watch that one. So that's the one that is. Oh boy, I think it's like a chick that meets an oligarch or a son of an oligarch from Russia, and she's a sex worker in the U.S. Guys, I really don't know, but apparently it's really good. People do say it's awesome, so I'm glad that a picture that people like a stripper. Okay. But I'm glad that a picture that people like won. That's always good. Sometimes you get those movies that really don't make sense that win Best Picture. But yeah,
Cool.
So that happened, and the first black person to ever win an Oscar for costume design for Wicked.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
won. So that's cool. And I'm trying to think if there were like any weird standout moments. I don't know. As far as it goes with the Oscars, more people did tune in this year when they tallied up all the people that watched. It was like 1% higher than last year, which is good because the Oscars have been plummeting in viewership. People have not been tuning in to watch it. So, yeah.
Yeah, we definitely didn't watch it, but we also haven't been able to go to a movie in 2.5 years. So.
Well, and it's also the rights for the television rights for it are up here soon. So we could see it move to Netflix. We could see it. Amazon, I'm sure, might make a bid for it. But it's on.
I would think it would get such a huge spike in
You think it
viewers if it hopped over to a different channel.
You think it would?
I do.
Off of it, it's on ABC right now, so you can watch it on ABC or Hulu. Also, Hulu didn't
can you
start
only
it on
watch
time.
it-
They
yeah.
cut it off too early.
And is that only if you have live TV on Hulu? Can you watch it if you have like the base version of Hulu, or is it?
Oh, that's a great question. I have
So-
no idea. And honestly, I think people forget. Just get a digital antenna for your TV,
But that's
and you
the
can
thing.
watch all of it.
That requires people to
with
take
the-
an extra step, and it's not as much as we say just go do this. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I know.
The
but
majority
it's-
of people that have cut TV don't have that,
Yeah.
and a lot of people have cut cable. So
Yeah. All right. That's gone. We got 3 left, and we've got maybe time for 1 or 2 more. Let's just see. Let's see what happens here. Nick, hit the music. spin. Spin that wheel. Nice. Geno Smith. Basically, you and I are Seahawks fans, so we'll start talking about that. But then also any other NFL trades or free. I think, is it free agency now? Mm-hmm. Okay, you're a little bit more tuned in than I am. But on Geno Smith.
I was just hoping we wouldn't have to talk about it.
No, we should talk about it. We're both Seahawks fans. Geno Smith was just traded from the Seahawks to the Raiders. They were not, so it sounds like Geno Smith and the Seahawks were working on an agreement, but I think, from what I understand, the Seahawks weren't willing to go more than 3 years, and he wanted a longer-term contract. So they just parted ways. And what they were willing to give him, they feel like they could probably pay somebody else. And now they're linked to Sam Darnold right now.
Yeah, I just,
Are you sad, mad, surprised?
I don't know the exact specifics of why it fell through, but it is unfortunate. And I don't get the pivot from Geno to Sam Darnold. We don't have, maybe we get a quarterback in this draft. Maybe we get a quarterback next year or the following year, but putting Sam Darnold behind a bottom 5 offensive line is the dumbest thing that you can possibly do. We are so out of our league if we think that that's going to work that I think that that's the thing that gets John Snyder fired.
Would you be okay if they drafted heavy on the O-line? Because they got a third pick. So the Geno Smith trade was to the Raiders, and in return they got a third round pick. Sure, or if
they do something in free agency. But we just cut a whole lot of players. We're trying to trade DK. We're trying to get rid of Tyler Lockett. I get it, but I also don't get it. Like, if we're going to tank, let's tank. And let's be the worst team in the league. Let's get the high draft pick. Let's get a quarterback or quarterbacks. A high drafted quarterback, it's not a guarantee, right? Yeah. We've seen it bust or happen so many times where it doesn't work out.
Constantly.
So spend the high draft pick on offensive line talent. Build our offensive line. You're right. Build around that. Sign bigger players in free agency. But we have to build around an offensive line, and we have to figure out our quarterback position now, and I don't think that Sam Darnold is it. And if we put him behind a terrible offensive line, even one that's full of rookies that are highly touted, his first year in the league, when they're learning what the speed of an NFL defense is like and how talented every single player on the defense is, I get that there's amazing superstar athletes that come out of college every single year in every single position. But you're putting Sam Darnold behind a terrible, terrible offensive line. If you think that that's going to work and that you can then use that quarterback to build off of in the future, you're crazy.
Yeah, and Sam Darnold, just the reason you're harping on this so much is Sam Darnold sucks under pressure.
We saw it with the Jets, and it's going to happen here.
He was great with Minnesota because he had awesome protection until, of course, they played who did they play in the playoffs? I don't remember. But he was pressured a bunch, and he didn't do well. And you saw it, and it was like, oh, crap, this looks like the Sam Darnold of the Jets.
That's
or the
with
Panthers.
Kevin O'Connell as a head coach.
Yeah, who's a great head coach.
He's an amazing head coach. I'm not saying that McDonald's not a... Did I get that wrong? It's McDonald.
Yeah, it's McDonald. Yeah. But they got rid of the
Daniels or McDonald. It's McDonald.
Yeah, but they got rid of the offensive coordinator. They brought in. You're gonna have to look it up. But they brought in a new offensive coordinator. It just doesn't seem like there's. I don't know.
Clint Kubiak.
Okay.
That was escaping me, and I couldn't think about it. That's great. I'm really excited about that. But he wants to run the ball. We have 2 amazing running backs.
Yeah. And this draft is loaded with running backs. So they could even get another running back if they wanted to. They don't need to because Seattle
need
always
offensive line. We're going to need receivers. Anyways, if our goal is to tank and our goal is to suck, maybe this is how we do it.
Then and Sam Howell needs to start, and
Sam Darnold is just going to be so bad that every single game we lose, but I don't see that happening.
Yeah,
I see Sam Darnold being good enough to keep us around 500 or maybe just under or a few games under to where we're never getting that high draft pick.
Yep.
And it's frustrating.
Agreed.
We also let go Tyler Lockett, which is heartbreaking.
Do you know he's a real estate agent?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, apparently somebody said that. I don't know if that's true. It could be fake news. All right,
we'll talk about NFL stuff next week.
Yeah, we'll get more into. I mean, as the season continues on, we'll get into it. But that's sad. I'm going to miss Gino a little bit. And I don't know. Last question on that subject. Do you think the 3rd round pick was a good
I think it's good value.
value?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
I do.
Nice. All right. I think that's it for the wheel.
Let's give us one more. Let's not end on that. Let's give us one more happy one.
Why is it not?
You've clicked so many times that you now have a virus.
No. Oh,
Wow.
no.
All right.
It's
well,
stuck. That
I
might
guess we're
be
gonna
it. Sorry,
end that there. All I wanted to finish this off with was what our wives are watching, because they're watching the same thing, and we're going through the same feelings of Love is Blind.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, see, that's the thing. I want to save this because I could go off on Love is Blind. It's a boring season, and I could still go off on it.
Give me 2 minutes
Yeah.
of frustration.
Okay.
Or
I'm going to set a timer. Hey, Siri, set a timer for 30 seconds. Hey, Siri, set a timer for 30 seconds.
everybody's devices in the room just went off.
Did yours go off? Perfect. All right. Thank goodness. Okay. Minnesota people are wonderful people, but they are boring. They're very humble, and they should not have been the subjects of a Love is Blind experiment.
They're too kind.
Dude, you got to go with the people from the South. You got to go with people from LA. You got to go. I mean, Seattle was fine as well.
New
but
York,
these
Denver.
people are a little too level-headed for me. I did not like it at all. That's that. I do feel like the women that said no or said yes, whatever, like I was actually happy with how that turned out. I actually applaud one of the couples that the woman said, what is that, my 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Okay, last thing I'll say. The woman said no, and the guy said that's totally okay. And then they turned to the
I saw
audience
that
of
part.
family members
Yeah.
and they said, hey, thank you for coming and being a part
saw
of this.
that.
Like, we know, you're here to see what's going to happen next, but we just appreciate everyone being here and taking the time to do this with us. But like, it was just, yeah, it's a season.
I didn't think that that's where you were going. I
yeah.
thought that you were going to tell me how awful it was because I just can't stand that show. It is so bad.
It's a terrible idea for an actual, like a real experiment with people. For reality television, of course it's great. But like for an actual experiment with human emotions and feelings and like the livelihood of these people, it's a terrible
Not
idea.
great.
And a lot of these guys that make their way through I want to call it a background check, but like through the casting, dude, they're not good. Like
they
it's
slipped
bad.
through the cracks.
A lot of them are not good people. There is some tea on one of those guys. I'll get into that. I'll put that on next week's wheel. Anyways, that's it.
Wow.
Yep.
All right. Well, on that note, before we say goodbye,
Always.
every week we like to give a shout out or a
shame.
to a dad. Mikey, I think you have one this week.
Yep. I'm going to say, and I think you can give me, not opinion, but you can tell me if you
Sure.
shout out or shame. But I will say, in the particular instance, I'm going to say shout out to LeBron James for defending his son. Stephen A. Smith has made some not so generous comments about his son, Bronny, who plays in the G League. And at a Lakers game, LeBron saw Stephen A. Smith and basically did the Will Smith of keep my son's name out of your mouth type of thing.
Yeah, except LeBron is
But LeBron,
huge.
yeah. But at the same time, it's also kind of tough to say, like, shout out to him for defending his son. I'm glad he did that. But at the same time, LeBron also has tweeted saying, like, players in the G League don't hold a candle to his son. And it's like, okay, well, you're just putting down other people when you say that as well. So I don't know. But
He's
I
in
will
a situation
say,
where he wants to build up his son. He's proud of his son. He wants his son to be
Yeah.
in the NBA. He wants
Yeah,
him to be
that's a good point.
successful. He wants to see him do big things and good things and follow in his footsteps. And that's a blind spot that he probably has, is he doesn't see how it's coming across, and it is putting people down, and you can't put people down to lift somebody else up.
Yep.
But I mean, at some point in some time, Stephen A. was going to get called out, whether it was for this or something else. He says inflammatory things all the time. Like, this was bound to happen. So
yep.
my only shout out this week is to Nick's dad, because when I thought about him the other day, he was going to where with your mom on vacation?
Florida.
And they're still traveling at what age?
75.
Oh,
All over the place.
no,
though, right?
thank you. No, thank you. I'm not traveling at that point in my life.
Yeah, my dad was saying that he was going to drive up like 30 minutes up to this other cove, and they're going to get paddle boards and go in the ocean and, Yeah.
See, this is why I'm shouting out
Yeah.
Nick's dad, because he has a sense of adventure that I hope that we all live to or strive to one day.
Yeah, or
and I hope
muster.
that I am that age with he's still got the hair. Oh yeah, dude. I don't have that hair and I never will, but man, the silver fox, may he live on. So shout out to your dad, Nick.
Yeah. Shout out to Papa Siegel.
I'll let him know.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. Again, this is the Dad Meets World podcast. We will be back next week. Join us again. Like, subscribe, tell a friend. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye, people.
Thank you. Have a good night.